Okay, here's what's happened. Well, first I looked behind me and there's some stuff I need to pick up. But anyway, okay, Google. Oh well. Okay, so okay, the camera, just the way the camera is, I have to like do everything on my knees. It won't do high. So, um, this is what happened. A few days ago, I posted parts of my meltdowns, bits and pieces, whenever I stopped long enough to actually do the camera. And usually that was probably when I was starting to settle and I was going to sit down and smoke some weed. That's probably when, you know, it came through. Whatever. Okay. So my whole meltdown was, hold on a minute. Okay, Google. Okay, Google, volume 6. I swear, you know what? I'm going to let it play loud as I'll get out. I'm going to start dancing. See, heck, this is the difference. Okay, the other day, I didn't have any weed till, it was like 12, 1 o'clock. Okay? Aggravating. Now, I wish it would stop doing that just long enough for me to get this video done. And I wish the music wasn't so loud. It's making me uncomfortable. I have cried most of today. Okay? I really do wish I could turn that down because it's irritating. I'm trying to do something. Okay, so um I've had people ask me when I'm gonna start back my dance aerobics. I have people messaging me now wanting to know where I am because I haven't had what I need. I've had just one type of strain for weeks, or at least 2 weeks at least. Okay, so I'm just like I'm almost numb to it. So I need a different strain, and that's what I'm missing, and that's why I haven't been dance aerobicing because I can't get what I medically need. Okay, okay. All my videos are about the endocannabinoid system of the human body. I just think doctors don't want anybody to know because it would doing what I'm doing would fix everybody. So they'd be like, but now you'd still have people out there that wouldn't. But anyway. So the other day, my meltdown, it was scary. But all of them were really scary. But this one was especially. It was almost to the point to where it's nowhere but up from here. That's one of my little things. Okay, so then anyway, the other day I'd gone that long, but it was about time for me to have a little bit of just something, that would help. Here's what happened. I didn't have a lighter. Couldn't find a lighter. I went just so anyway, this is where that kind of this is where it takes back up. Tonight, okay, I had a lighter that was just barely hanging in there, one of those long ones, and I've been trying to figure out how to fill it up, and I can't. So I had just a little, just enough to take two little, we used to call them drags, like two little drags. Okay, here's what happened. Within just a few minutes, I was thinking I have a little thing that I carry my stuff in, just a little tiny, it's little. And sometimes. And I said something, and I said, I know exactly where to look. Because I just had a little bit of weed. My brain has settled, calmed. I can think. The other day, I didn't have any weed. I didn't have enough cannabinoids in my brain. I didn't have enough. I raised hell. Could not find. I was outside cussing. Could not find. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think we're recording now. I have to do a quick recap. Oh, see, I have to do all my stuff on my knees because the cameras won't see everything I do. Like one night I was doing dance aerobics like this. Okay, but anyway, okay, the other day I had my thing, and the more I talk about it, it's like kind of gets like, but no, because I was scary, I was frightening, I was horrible. I mean, I was livid. My brain was so fucked up because I've got my brain convinced that's what I gotta have. So I didn't know, I couldn't find the lighter. I was frantic, just raising hell, throwing shit. Just, I mean, it's scary, and in to this is for the recap part. Y'all missed a lot of this stuff, but so when I found the lighter, my brain started calming down because I knew I was toward this. I went outside screaming now. God damn it. You know, because I wasn't thinking right. So I was bumping into shit. I was doing stuff out of order. I was doing stuff that didn't need to be done and not doing stuff that did need to be done. My brain was just fried. So I hadn't had weed, all day. And this is like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the evening. But so that's when I called it. So then I was like, where's my phone? Couldn't see it. Recap. I mean, I went outside hunting that phone, and what's really weird is when I was outside, it seemed like I was out there for an hour. And when I came back in, it won't be like 5, 10, 15 minutes tops. It was still in the 30s. I mean, like the anyway, it's like 6:33 or anyway. Still in the 30s. That's funny. Okay, so anyway, I calmed down. So I came back in. I was pissed off. I was like, I guess the battery's dead somewhere. Because usually you can do, okay, Google and call it and wouldn't call. I mean, I'm just saying. Okay. The whole time, every time I come back, when I'm sitting, I'm facing that way. Okay? That's what I'm looking at. Okay? So, here's where the phone was. Oh my gosh, look here. And see, I'm not even using it. So I'm gonna do a for real demonstration of where this phone was now. It was right here. And I looked at it almost the better part of the day. It was like something like that right there. But I think the light was lower. I can't remember. But it was sitting right there. And I was probably looking at it at maybe that angle.
Yeah.
But you can see me in the video. I have this video. All of it. Now, see, wouldn't you know shit's going to start dying. But, so I thought I was out there. So finally, I just looked. And this is when, this was after I smoked just a little bit. I forgot. Okay, let me back up. When I finally calmed down, it's like, I hadn't found the phone yet. I was like, well, I'm going to have to smoke some weed. I'm going to go. I have to make myself. I'm so angry. I don't want to stop. I want to keep going on and on and on.
Yeah.
I have to I scream it 3, 4, 5 times. I have to scream. It's like, Donnie, sit down and smoke some fucking weed. Okay? This is So, so I have a little baby pipe. Okay, I smoked just a little bit right there on the camera. I don't want everybody to see it. I never turned it off. I just kept right on. Within 5 minutes, I looked up and saw my phone. It's the first time I've seen it in hours. It was right there. Well, not hours, but it seemed like it to me. But the whole time I'm tearing shit apart looking for that lighter. And then, I'm like, where's the phone? I go out there hunting the phone, come back, and it was right there. But that's just what I'm talking about. Sometimes people's minds just aren't wired the same. So my things are getting worse. I gotta have it. Sativa, medical, marijuana. I'm gonna have to have it or I'm gonna be dead. One or the other. That's been on the agenda a lot lately. But, well, not definite, but. So if you think about it, that one little drag or puff or whatever you want to call it, that one little bit, I saw that phone. And see, here's what I think was happening. This is before I had weed now. I was psychotic. Let me think. I usually have to say this on all my videos because there's a lot of times where if I'm talking, sometimes I'll just stop. And I think that's two different reasons. One is sometimes I'll just stop, completely forget what I'm talking about. Totally. But that's whoops. And sometimes I'll stop but see, when I totally forget, it's like, okay, well, maybe I was going somewhere really bad with that start. Maybe I was going somewhere that shouldn't have been gone or done or spoken of yet. So, or I can stop and remember everything and be thinking about it, thinking, second guessing myself. And I think the reason that I'm second guessing myself is because there's someone else involved. When it's just me, I should do first instinct, first. If I do first, the first thing, boom, that's what I do when I'm smoking weed. Okay, when I'm smoking weed, I'm like, first instinct, everything just goes just as pretty, just streamlined. Because that's when I'm smoking weed, because I'm thinking. My mind has gotten what it needs. I know it's cannabinoids. I mean, there's no way that you're not going to convince me of that. But I'm thinking, I'm doing stuff in order. And I'm just telling stories. I got the camera out there. I'm doing dance aerobics, having a ball. Okay. This all took place with, I think I was even saying the time in this video. It was like 6:48 or something when I took, I don't know if first or second, by 7:03. You think about this now, 6:48, 6:47, 6:49, somewhere around there. 7:03 now. I was already looking over saying, I got a damn mess to clean up, don't I? It's that quick. It was that quick. I'm like, damn. And I was like, I just hope I didn't get a hold of electronics. And see, that's another reason why I am damn not going to come back here and try to video me. Because I need to stay as far away from electronics as possible. Because I've already busted 2 TVs. And I damn hit the damn something. Okay? So this happened. But it's like, I still think it's that endocannabinoid system in the body. I mean, I don't think the doctors want us to know about it, because if everybody started smoking weed, doctors would be out of job, wouldn't they? But you're still going to have a lot of people that, believe the doctors and all that they are capable of. I ended that with a of. But anyway, God knows that feels good. Oh, it's the first time I've done this all day. Okay. This is one of my little stress relievers. And I do it usually when I have my afternoon strain. I don't like these pants. I'm going to have to change. I don't like these pants. They look hoe. But anyway, I used to do this shit every day. Every day. And it made me feel so good. But hopefully nothing comes out. And as far as hair, okay, I don't know. Should I? Let's see. Oh, okay. I think the reason that I didn't see the phone, here's why I think. The reason I think I didn't see the phone is that was my subconscious didn't want me to see it, because if I'd have seen the phone, I would have done what? I'd have calmed down, right?
Yeah.
But it's almost like it's almost like my conscience is taking over or something. It's like, I think it's what it is. My conscience takes over. That's what fucks me up. But that's what I think. I think my subconscious hid that phone so I'd keep going pissed off. Because I hadn't, as far as I knew, I hadn't found it yet. I still hadn't seen it. And the video shows me looking right that way. Several times now. I mean, and it was right there. So, I think, that was my mind saying, you need to keep right on going, baby. You on a roll. Because I came in, woo! I just started calming down. Holy shit. See, I mean, I need to watch my videos again. But it's just okay, so like tonight, so here's what happens tonight. I had a lighter that was just barely had enough. One of those long ones.
Yeah.
And I barely got just a little bit out of it to have one little hit. Or like I think I made just, I don't know, it was only lit one time and I got like 2 bucks off of it. Okay, so within 5 minutes, I stood up. I knew exactly where to go for a lighter. I knew exactly where to go. Whenever I take the dogs out on walks on the rivers, I wear these little vests.
Yeah.
And you're recording. I just want to make sure you know that, right? Okay, so.
Yeah.
So, I wear these little vests. I don't usually wear them with these kind of shirts, but I needed to wear one real quick. But if you'll see the little pockets, that's usually where I keep, lighters and, god damn, I gotta put the shirt back on. Lighters and stuff like that, that's where I put them. And, I think I'm gonna have to edit this part. But, it's that drastic. It's that drastic. The last time I needed a lighter, I was already upset about something else. So I was trying to get my ass sat down. Ouch! God damn it. That's a fine example right there. If I hadn't have been smoking weed, woo, god damn, I would have come unfucking glued. There ain't no telling. I'm just saying, because if I hadn't been smoking weed, yeah, I mean, I would have probably, which would have shaken the dresser, which would have done what? Sent that mirror on me. See, I'm dangerous. I've got to have it. And all I'm asking for is a sativa medicinal marijuana. That's all I'm asking for. And I've got to have different strains. There are different strains. Like, I was trying to explain this the other night. It's like, okay, you say you got oranges. You're going to get tired of oranges after a while, right? Okay, yeah. And so you're like, okay, well, let me switch over to I don't know, I use pears or bananas or something. I can't remember. Bananas, I think. Because bananas and oranges give different chemicals, right? Don't, like, oranges and bananas don't digest the same in a human body, right?
Yeah.
You know, they have all different. So the same thing with weed. You have, you know, I can't go but so long on oranges, you know, because my oranges are going to run up. Then I'm going to need some banana. Pick me up. And then, you know, then finish off the day with a pear, you know. But marijuana comes, like medicinal, it comes in little packs. They come names. So and you can look it up online. They have little names. And as long as they're all sativas, and then an indica would be perfect for sleeping. That would help me sleep. So yes, my mind is altered 24/7, but what the world, really? You see the difference? I mean, I was like, I went, but that was it. I forgot all about it and started talking. That's the difference. And that's what I'm trying. I bumped into it, 2 or 3 times, haven't I? I think I bumped into this one earlier. But that's the difference. So, huh?
You can have a bruise on your elbow.
I hope not. My mouth's dry. It's the only drawback to this stuff. It makes my mouth dry. But so that's what I'm saying. You know, people have they have all these pharmaceutical shit for depression shit. It don't work unless you believe it's gonna work. That's the only way it works is if you believe it. It's sugar pills. It ain't doing nothing except for what your brain has been told it's gonna do. So I learned that from Joe Dispenza. I always credit people that, you know, I don't. It's not my own stuff, but I can't remember where I was. Oh, and when I'm thinking about when I'm watching my video, I have this, and I was just watching myself. I was like, damn, the rage. I was like, and this was when I remembered to turn on the computer. So I already sat down for just a few minutes, long enough to set it to record. So I was already on the downside. So, but just sitting here watching, I just went, and I just stomped and said, God, I was woo out there. But I think there are a majority of people that this would probably work the exact same. Because the endocannabinoid system produces, the human body produces them, cannabinoids, and the same thing that's in the plant. So you think that, to me, that's a supplement. That's an herbal supplement. That's all it is. But it's good for more stuff. It's good for way, way, way more stuff. Pain, you know, seizures, blah, blah. And people are like, well, it kills brain cells. Yes, it kills cancer cells. So people don't throw that in there. It don't kill good ones. It kills bad ones. So there's so many people that don't know that, and I think if they were to try my system, I don't know what it's call it fruity weed or something, you know. You want oranges all day long? I see shit like that. I mean, my whole demeanor, everything changed. Yeah. And I was on the videos like, I mean, like, well, and like within 20 minutes, I was in here with a tool belt on. It's stuff like that, you know, whereas, you know, I was livid. But just that little bit of weed, that's all it took. Just a little bit, and just within just a few minutes, I'm just like, and I know that would probably affect other people the same way. If you think about it, when I feel like shit, I just feel like shit. But I don't give it a name. I don't give feeling like shit credit enough to give it a name. You know, feeling like, see, I did it again. Let me move over. So, feeling like shit, what I was trying to hide my mess. Let's see. But, oh, here we go. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so, now, just, see, and here's the thing, there's going to be people out there talking about she's faking it just so she can get high. Really? Here's the thing. You watch all my fucking videos, watch them. Tell me I'm faking. Damn. See, here's the thing, though. If I was faking, now listen to this. If I was faking it, wouldn't I include the middle part with the camera with me? Ah! Right?
Yeah.
Hell no. Yeah. I ain't going to, shit, I'll have, my phone, that's another part of it. That's probably why my phone was sitting there. I didn't even see it. Because not only did it keep me wound up, because I couldn't see it, I looked, though. I was watching the video and I kept looking. I was just looking right at it. Didn't see it. So maybe that was my subconscious saving my phone, because if my phone gets messed up, y'all find me down the river somewhere. Dead. But, I think it's that, and I also think that it was before I had weed, so it was almost like I wanted to keep going. I couldn't stop. It's hard to stop, because like when I stand up a board and it falls over, I'm already pissed because it fell, because I probably got stuff in my hands that I shouldn't have in my hands. That board fell over. Now, the board falling over is going to piss me off. I'll put it up. If it falls again, I'll throw it somewhere. Or I'll hit it with, But see, now, now listen to this. This is the difference now. After I've been smoking weed, if it fell down, I'd be like, I must need that for something. And sure as hell, I will. Shortly after that. And I'll know what to do to get to that, instead of doing shit ahead of what I was supposed to. It's like I'll go in head first and start doing shit that's not going to work, because I didn't sit still and think long enough to say, no, that ain't going to work. No, that ain't going to work. That's after weed. Okay. Before, I'm out here doing this shit. It's like, that ain't going to work. I've spent an hour doing something that's not going to work. So you can imagine. See, that's what I'm saying is, if I don't have those different strains, I have to space this one out. I have to get where I'm in the middle of one so that I'll have enough to carry through the end of the day. So I need 3. I only have 1 strain. I only have apples. Whatever. Yeah. But like I said, after I smoke a little bit, the board will fall. I'll stand it up probably, but if it falls again, I know it doesn't piss me off. I know that I'm going to need it shortly, because it fell twice, so I'll take it with me. Sure as shit, I'll need it. Yeah. And it's stuff like that, because it's like, I think life is a series of steps. Oh gosh, here I go. Blah, blah, blah. I think life is a series of steps that we have to do or take to fulfill ourselves. Steps and puzzle pieces. And so when I want to do something, if it takes 4 steps to do it, I'll go to 3 before I do 1. When I hadn't been smoking weed, I just start moving stuff. But when I start, I'm not upset all the time. Sometimes I am. But that's enough. That's part of why I sleep late in the mornings. Because I don't have anything to get me started in the morning, just because I'm ill. I wake up pissed off. But, and then I start thinking about, blah, blah, blah. I think about the girls, and I start crying, and then I start screaming. But if I smoke weed, when I start thinking about the girls, if I don't have enough already, I'll start thinking of things I can do to try to fix it. Things that am I ready for this yet? I don't know if I'm really ready for my girls right now. So it's almost like this is supposed to happen because I left over there a broken, damaged woman. I was broken. I'm still broken. It's just I'm so dependent. And if you think, yeah, she's dependent on weed, yeah. Okay, how many times? How long can people go without coffee? That's a biggie. That's the biggest one. I think coffee is bigger than alcohol. Way bigger.
Oh yeah.
Because coffee, you can do it morning, nighttime, day, any time of day you can drink coffee. But when you're caught drinking beer at 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, goddamn drunk, right?
Yeah.
But it's still their substance that that they have that gets them through the day. And I don't think it's the substance that makes up the person. I'm thinking this shit as I go. I don't think it's really the substance. I think it is how the person is interpreting what other people are saying about that. I think that's how they act the way they act, is because the people around them are giving them ideas that they themselves probably did not have. So that's going to fuck up a buzz. And that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily the alcohol, because you think about some people can drink beer all day long but you don't never know the difference. But now some people drink 3 beers and be shit faced. So the ones that can drink all day long, they don't give a shit whether anybody watches them drink. They don't give a shit. And that's why they just have that laid back, cool, I know a guy right now. God, I need to call him. But you got people that do cocaine. That's, to me, I'm just, that ain't my thing. It's too expensive, and it does nothing for me. But I did it 35 some years ago, and I didn't like it. It made my nose burn, my eyes. I was like, oh, I didn't like it. So, some people, but that's not really a destructive drug, though. Somebody can do cocaine all the time, and you never know it. Some people can do it. They better be damn ass rich or dealers one, because that's so expensive. From what I remember, I don't know. It was like really expensive back then, but it's like sugar. I think sugar might even be bigger than coffee, because I think there's sugar in everything we eat. There's sugar in there somewhere. Salt. Think about salt. How people are addicted to salt. Gotta have it. But that's like a normal thing, really. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is just weed, and it just happens to be illegal because of ignorance. That's the only word I know to use. People just did not know and didn't. The government had them so fucked up in the head. I think we're like that, I guess, now, aren't we? Like we reliving what was that? I don't remember. 20s, 30s, somewhere around in there. Whenever Prohibition was, it was right after Prohibition. But anyway, I just wanted to get this on here real quick, because in response to one because this happened tonight, and I started the video earlier, but I got up and piddled around doing other stuff. Because I just smoked weed, so I was like, okay. I was doing like things with the phone. Well, that was later. But see, that's what and there's so many people out there, and that's why I'm posting this stuff. That's why I'm posting me crazy as hell. I mean, I'm just like, oh, I just come undamn glued. But as soon as I get myself down to smoke weed within 15, I didn't know it was that fast. I did not know it was that fast. I thought it was 20, 30. So you see, even my time is different. Whoa. Even my time is different before and after weed. But the thing is, whenever I'm smoking weed, I'm doing shit like this right here. Okay? I'm inventing. Here's another one of my little inventions. If you take a phone charging cord and dress it up, make it like, well, these are actually, This one is kind of sort of what I'm talking about. See how it's like threaded? But if you take this and put on the ends, you put little caps with the little things that hold them, and it'd be a magnets, one on each end. So, like if it was like this one, it would go around, blah blah, and you'd have a little cap that would come on and would go on here. That's like it'll be tied to it, those little rubber things that breaks. But that little thing, and then you'd have one on here, and they would magnet together. Wouldn't that be neat?
Yeah.
So then it's like you've always got a charging cord with you, right? Isn't it a pain in the ass to keep up? Well, some people have wireless, but isn't it sometimes a pain in the butt to have to keep up with charging cords?
Yeah.
I think it is. But, that's the kind of stuff I think about after I smoke weed, is stuff like that. And I think that's another reason why my house is so messy is I start projects that I don't finish. But I just think this would help a lot of people. And because the quality of life is just unbelievable. The difference. It's hot in here. But see, here's the thing. And here's another thing. I just had to turn the music down. I already had the music on, Bo. Within 15, 20 minutes of smoking that weed, I already had the music on. Siggity doo. I mean, I was like, how was I earlier? Do you remember? I was all to pieces, wasn't I? I was crying I was crying. I couldn't hardly talk. I couldn't get my sentences out. And, I'm sitting here trying to send Cameron a message, and I'm just, I can't even finish I'm just like, I was just, I wasn't angry, but I was deeply, 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 really, really sad. And, but I was trying, I was just like, now I could probably send her something with this kind of an aura, for lack of a better word. So I know if it were my mom and she called me crying like hell all the time, I'd be like, God damn, Mom, really? I would. I'd be like, God. I'd rather have my mom call and do shit like this right here.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. It's just, yep. But, anyway, that was supposed to be a really quick one. Sometimes I'll say, do you want the long version or do you want the short version made into a long version? I think that's funny as shit. But I was sitting in here the other day, and this was the day after the lighter, I think. And I was sitting here on the floor, and I knew that I had to wait. Oh, okay. I was having to wait to kind of like space stuff out. Like sometimes I'll have a couple beers too, but I was able to stay on the floor. As long as I stayed on the floor with my focus on the laptop doing the video, I was easier to control, because so much of my focus was there. And but when I would stand up and look around at the shit that I would just be like, I could sit my ass back down. Usually I can't do that, but this video put me back down here so that I could tell how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. So much of my focus was explaining to people what's going on that I wasn't paying attention to other stuff that didn't really matter at that time. So, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know why it only played once. Oh, I think I turned the volume down too far. But, shit, I might as well go out in a blaze of glory, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I've been looking for a horse. I'm gonna go out in a blaze of glory on my horse. And we're gonna ride down the river in the kayak.
Oh, down the river in the kayak.
Yeah, man. I don't. But before I have like a dose of weed, I don't like going outside. I hate to go outside. Hate it. I hate to go outside. The only time I will step outside here is if it's something pertaining to the dogs. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Before I smoke weed, I don't want to be out here. So, or if I have to go get something that's being delivered or something like that, I'll go out for that and I'll come right back in. After I've smoked weed, I'll stay out there and do shit outside. It's the difference. It's that different. It's unbelievable how, because you think about you got kidney medicine, every organ, there's 1,800 medications for the same stuff, but the letters are just arranged differently. That's all it is. I think it's the same shit. That they just rearrange the letters. I think that's all they do. And it's like they got like 10 letters. They can probably make 20 different medicine names out of 10 letters. Or 30. But if people would believe in a natural plant that's been used for thousands of years, and then humans bebop along with these little pills and shit. These little pills they ain't been around that long. But you think about weed, it's thousands and thousands. And here's what I don't get. If it's so dangerous, why is it that they give it to cancer patients? Why did they give it to seizure patients? Why did they give it to people with intense pain? Why? If it's such a terrible drug, class 1, gateway shit, if it's that, why are they giving it to such critical people?
They know it's not.
They know.
They know it's not a bad drug. They just want to get their money off.
Cha-ching, cha-ching. That's it. It's all about money. Huh?
Sooner or later they probably make it legal over here.
It should have never been illegal to start with. It's just stupid. It's just pure. Now, just a few people can be ignorant, but a bunch of people is stupid because, to be sure in hell, some of them had sense enough to learn about it. So you got a few that are ignorant. The rest of them are going to find out and be like, "No, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense." But if they all do the ignorant, that's just stupid. That's stupid to me. I mean, to be sure, some people will go out there and be like, "Wait a minute, this don't make no sense." You see, they came out with this movie, Reefer Madness, where they were saying that everybody that smoked it just turned into demons and going around killing people. And it's funny actually, but the whole American people fell for this movie, Reefer Madness, and it was to scare people, and they were telling people that the Mexicans were coming over, so they already didn't want the Mexicans over, right? This was back in I don't remember, 20s, 30s, I don't know, somewhere in those, but it was legal some time ago here, but they were already upset that the Mexicans were coming over. Okay, so they convinced. I'm just thinking this on my own because this makes sense. But they have the people now convinced that the Mexicans, they don't want them in. People are like, "No, we don't want them here." So then they said the Mexicans are bringing weed with them. They're bringing marijuana with them. Boom, illegal. That's smart, but that's damn dick ass. But it's smart. And I think it's because they're making more money off of fines and lawyer fees, attorney fees, and court. They're making more off of that than they are tax off because they don't know how to handle it. You think about Canada, they use marijuana tax money. They build schools, roads, all kinds of shit. They're taking care of their. No, they don't even have like a sales tax. They don't have sales tax or don't have income tax or something like. They don't have all these taxes because I guess there's so much people smoking weed, and it just makes no sense to me. Makes no sense. And I think it should be covered. I think medicinal marijuana should be covered by Medicare. Period. There should be no question, because if this stuff to me is this critical, I'm almost at the point where there's nowhere but up. I'm almost there. That's one of my little funky things I thought of. I'm almost at the point where there's no way but up, or something like that. So, and I'm getting worse because I'm getting frustrated because nobody will fucking listen to me. And that's what goddamn pisses me off the most. Nobody will fucking shut the hell up and pay attention. Because this lady over here at this doctor, and I'm still upset about this. I went in there, I wanted to try to get some Marinol because I've done it. It's a synthetic. This is what kills me. It is a synthetic version of THC cannabinoid product. They call it Delta 9. It has synthetic THC and synthetic cannabinoids. What? Are you kidding me? Now, this is legal, approved by the FDA, and in doctor's recommendations, covered by fucking Medicare, bro. A synthetic version of weed. And the plant, really? And here's the thing. The Marinol, I know of a girl that took it because she had PTSD. She got burnt real bad too, but she had PTSD, so the Marinol just really helped her. So I'm thinking, I've been to the emergency room twice with head trauma. I got kicked by a horse once, and the other time horse head came back and hit me. I just slid off. They said I just slid off the horse. But, what was I saying? Yeah, but sometimes when I stop like that, sometimes I'll sit here and go, Because I was saying earlier, first response for me. But when there's somebody else involved, I have to think, now, wait a minute. If I do this, is that going to affect them in a positive or a negative way? Is that going to help them or hinder them or not at all? So I got to sit here and think about it, sometimes, because there's others involved. I don't always make the right decisions, because when they say treat people the way you want to be treated, really? Shit. I keep the ones around that treat me like shit. Is that how you want me to treat everybody? I just have this fascination. I don't know why. I just attract people that treat me like shit, and then I just and then I just separate myself from them. And it's just, but see, they're also sometimes they're catching me before and after weed, and they don't understand how I change that much. Because if you think about it, I've had people over here, and I behaved differently even with them here. Pre-weed, I was ill as a hornet. Shit was falling. I was screaming. In front of people now, throwing stuff. After weed, totally different. Totally. I'll be like, hey, and getting along with the dogs, saying, look what happened, telling stories and shit. That's the difference. And you're talking about weed that takes less than 15 minutes to hit me. Really? You think about these bipolar people out there taking all this shit, and they're still just as damn crazy. But see, I think some chemicals do have certain effects because they're based. I think a lot of these chemical pharmaceuticals, some of them probably have a plant base, and those probably actually do what they say they're going to do. But then when you get over here talking about, all this depression stuff, the depression is healed right here. your brain. I think that's why they tell you if you take this new Trenthelix, I think is I don't know, they'll rearrange words. It'll be something. I mean the letters, and it'll be something else next week. But if you start taking the reason that they say it takes 2 weeks before it works, 2 to 3 weeks, is because of this. Your brain can be fooled into believing what you tell it. So if you take this pill and you say, this is going to make me feel better, this is going to make me feel better, you keep telling yourself that every day, I'm going to feel better, I'm going to feel better, I'm going to feel better. You do this for about 2 or 3 weeks, and your brain has been convinced enough to where even your subconscious, your body, believes it. So if you believe it, it's going to work. And you're going to be like, yeah, this shit's awesome. But it's not the shit. That was probably nothing more than a little sugar pill. But you had your brain convinced. I got a lot of this stuff, a lot of these ideas I got from Joe Dispenza. Not all of them. Some of them I just kind of add to. But his basic thing is you can train your brain to heal. And this guy was in a triathlon. He was on a bicycle and went around the corner, hit head on with a truck, though. He was all to pieces. This man never had a certain listen. Now this blows my mind. It's hard to believe. This man never had any surgeries. They told him he never walked. Blah 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 blah. Said he's going to be paralyzed. Blah blah blah. That man never had healed himself, Bo. Took a while. Healed himself. And why would this man lie about this? There's no reason for him to lie about it. And it's just getting your brain to believe. And see, that's my thing. I have my mind convinced that this is what I have to have. But I think the plant-based stuff does probably have more of an effect than, like diphenhydramine. I don't even know what that comes. That comes from something, don't it? Some kind of plant. I don't know. But, you think these people out here taking all these herbs, making, it's like when I was saying earlier, when I feel like shit, I don't give it a name. I don't give something that's unpleasant the satisfaction of having a name. I mean, I'm not going to do that. It's like, you make me feel like shit, I ain't going to name you. Because that way, when I feel like shit, I won't think it's that. And it might not be that. It might be something else. Sometimes I'll think, most of the time, mine is just dehydration. That's all it is. I'm just dehydrated. I drink a bunch of water for a couple days, I'm good to go. A few more days. But see, when I do my dance, so this is weird. When I do my dance aerobics, there's a lot of times where I'll spin. I'll turn around. And I've got to where I can spin around 10, 15 times and then stop and just stop. Not many people can do that. And when I'm circling, I'm doing it to the beat of the music. Yeah. And then I'll just stop, and then I'll go to the beat of that song, whatever that song is. But I'm gonna tell you something. That shit catches up with me, and I think I believe now. I think that's one reason why I have some of these, once or twice a month feel like shit days. Is I guess my brain is just so from being spun, and I never was able to get out of the spin. I never got out of that. See, it never went back around. You know what I mean? I didn't ever fall and stumble and like this shit right here, trying to get my head back right. I didn't give my brain time to do that. So I swear I'm thinking after about 3, 4, 5 days of this shit, my head's like, look, we're putting your ass down. But see, like right now, if you look at this right here, okay, it looks like a damn crack pipe. No, it doesn't. But this little thing right here, I'm gonna do it on both cameras. It's like this much, just a tiny. I mean, it's just a lid. It doesn't take much. And I think I think it should be not only a supplement, but I think it should be something that I think it should be. And I don't have a problem with it being medicinal. I don't have a problem with prescription. But if people want to grow it, have at it. But I don't know that it should always be covered by. I think it would depend on the situation if it's covered by Medicare, Medicaid. But I think in most instances, probably it should be, because it makes that big of a difference in me. See, here's the thing. That's why I can't get anything accomplished, because if I don't have the right strains to bounce to, when I tear shit up, when I do finally have some, I'm fixing all the stuff I messed up. So I'm not getting anywhere. It takes me the rest of the day to fix what I fucked up. So I'm not getting anything done. I'm not being productive. Whereas if I had that marijuana, that strain, the other one to jump onto, because it's different. It's an orange. I mean, it's a banana instead of an orange, because you think about all these different fruits. Each strain is putting different chemicals in my brain. So I'm changing. It's like, you get tired of oranges after a while. So, because see, oranges, pears, you think about oranges, citrus, think about pears, bananas, pineapples. They all contribute something different to the body.
Yeah.
And if you think about these different marijuana strains, do pretty much the same things with the brain. So it's like you can be on this one and then be like, God almighty. And then you'll need another strain, like you want a banana. And that's how it is. It's like people have this food system shit they do, all these triangles and shit. I don't get it. I eat what I want, when I want, whenever. I'll eat like hell and go to sleep. And I'm not a big person, am I? Well, I'm kind of, I know, bigger now than I have been lately, but, or before. When I was dance aerobic and I was a hottie, and my hair was longer, and even my hair grew longer, Bo, because and the reason I know this is true is because there are times that I do have, three or four different ones right here, and I bounce from one to the other. I get shit done. I get shit done because I'm thinking about what I'm going to do before I do it. See, here's for example. I was trying to figure out where to put my mama dogs getting ready to have puppies, okay? But I don't want the puppies all out here chewing up my shit, okay? I want them to stay back behind in their spot. They have a place where they can get out, but they pretty much respect when I tell them to stay in the kennel, they will. But see, Mabel, I was going to put her in a little white building that's on the other side. It's on my side. So, I mean, she's going to want to hang out with them some, and where's she going to shit? And then, see, I was going to have to take power out there because I need lights. I was having to fill in some places where the roof comes down on the sides. I had to fill all it. And I'm sitting here, but instead of going out, this is after weed now, instead of going out and getting this and trying it, getting this and trying it, getting this, trying it, I stayed in here on the floor and just thought about it. I said, well, let's see. If I use clothes to put as a barrier for the wind and stuff, where the roof comes down, like overhang, I was thinking if I use clothes, I'll be reusing something that still has use, but when they get wet, if they get wet, it takes a while for them to dry, shoved up in there like that, right? So then I thought about, what else I think about? Curtains. Those heat and cold curtains, real thick ones. So I thought I could put those up in there because they would dry faster, and they would pretty much, they're already like insulation-y stuff. So I could show them. I thought about using dog food bags. That would work really well. But I'm sitting here thinking about all these stuff, and then I was like, Eventually, before I went out there, here's what I decided to do. All I did was I went out there, because that gate was open earlier. I closed it, I think, like the day before I closed it. But I got to thinking, now wait a minute. the building that they're already in is perfect. And I remember her daughter had some puppies up underneath a bunch of stuff. They had a little place now up underneath a table, and they took I think it was like a tarp or something, and this was a few months ago. Those dogs pulled that tarp down just far enough where it touched the ground. It wasn't like that. They pulled it just right there. Block the wind, I guess. I didn't do it. So I'm thinking, what? I just went, I said, fuck. Because then I would have had to take food over here and water over here. Because for her to get food and water, it's on the other side. So I'd have to be letting her, that would have been aggravating. And then I'd forget about a gate open and the dogs be out and I'd be raising hell. So I was like, instead of going out there and I was going to try to use shredding in bags, I mean, I had all these ideas, but since I had the weed, I stayed in here and I thought about it for a while. So I invested probably an hour in probably 8 hours worth of bitching, or however many, till I fall down, probably, because I'd been mad. But all I did was I went out there, and there's a gate that goes to another section that's way up under where Panda had her puppies. All I did was open that gate. That's all I did. I think I took a bag of shavings in there and poured some shavings in there, and I think I put a piece of carpet down. That's it. That's all I did. And see, all this shit, had I not smoked weed and my mind wasn't right, all this shit I just said, I'd have been out there trying to do it. I'd have been trying to move waters, and I mean, just. So that's the difference. So I got a lot more done after I decided, okay, well, I'm going to go, I just went and just opened up the gate and poured some shavings out there. That's all I did. Done. Because, I mean, they're dogs. They don't need heating quarters. They don't need stuff like that. If I watched a documentary about these kids, most dangerous ways to school, it's about these kids that go to school. It takes them like hours to get there. 2 hours, some of them, a day. Well, each time, 2 hours one way, 2 hours back. Some of them are more. This one boy's got to go. It's in Mexico. You think about Mexico's terrain. It's like mostly rocks and cliffs and shit. This youngin' has got to go up and then back down to get to school. It takes him 4 hours. 6 years old, bro. 6 years old. By himself. By himself. And his shoes, he don't have no socks, so his boots rub his feet. And he's going up in places, I checked, he's going up in places like, let's see, maybe are that wide. And it drop off. I'm like, one slip move. So that's why I'm thinking that I think puppies are born with advanced minds like adults, but they have to be little and cute so that people will get them, right? Because you think the older a dog gets, most people are like, I don't want them, they're idle, yeah. But they have to be cute for people to buy them. Just like I think kids, they just don't know how to express it. Puppies, they got these crappy ass bodies. But now I'm gonna tell you something. When those puppies start getting I've got a feeder that has a magnet door. 2 and 3 week old puppies now coming out of the box eating out of that magnet. They've already figured out how to get it. 2-3 weeks old now. Can't barely they're doing this shit. Just smart. But that's pretty smart. So that's what I'm thinking, that people might be the same way. It's just the older they get, the more they get fucked up. Right?
Yeah. You're right.
Huh?
I said, yeah, you're right.
I was in here the other night. I got to get this on here real quick. It might be a total, complete imagination thing. No idea. I was talking to somebody on something, I don't remember who it was I was talking to, but I had the phone facing the speaker, and I think some music was playing, and then it stopped, and I told it to stop, or I don't remember, but I never said, "Okay, Google." And I'm gonna tell you something, out of the blue, out of nowhere, I swear I heard it. Okay, we said okay, but I never said those words. Okay, this might be a total just blah, but I swear I heard that thing say, "You are speaking words of wisdom." And then there was silence, and then the music started. Blew my fucking mind. Okay, that's some weird ass shit. Ain't it? If it even happened. Because the shit that I was talking about, sometimes I just get on a roll and just bring up shit that people are like, damn, I never thought of it that way. And I hadn't either. It just did. It's like, we're talking about eating. I don't think what we eat has anything to do with our health. I think it's how we feel when we're eating. If you think about it, these kids, they're walking up. I mean, we're talking about some of them are having to grab hold of vines, climbing to go up over hill to get to school. I mean, dangerous shit where it drops off. Scary. But you think about it, most of these kids eat corn-based stuff like cornbread. They eat a lot of starchy rice. A lot of them eat a lot of rice and noodles, that kind of stuff. The energy stuff and they're fine. They're thin. They're in good shape. Da, da, da. So I don't really think it's what we eat, is what kind of energy we get off of it based on how we feel. Some people have their brain convinced that they're going to be heavy. But see, some people are just meant to be bigger than other people. I mean, they're just bigger. They're bigger bone structures. But now, some people, I got to talk. I almost want to say, I was talking about one of my little funky things I put on Facebook. I said, what does suspension for an infraction fix? When you suspend somebody for fucking up, you're not fixing anything.
Yeah.
They're not learning anything from it. If they're fucking up here and you kick them out, they're just going to fuck up out there with no supervision. However, I think the whole literacy thing is way overrated. I think that's what's fucking people up, is ability to speak. We've become dependent on it. And that's why I say we. Me too. But, so I said suspension for an infraction fixes what? And then I said, only in humanity does this make sense. Not that it's accepted, but people have accepted that it makes sense to treat people like shit. That's humanity to me. And I was telling this to somebody the other day, and they were like, damn. Because you think about people, okay, somebody messes up, put them in detention. The hell is that solving? And a lot of times, kids are getting in trouble for stupid ass fucking reasons. And the punishment should not always fit the crime, and here's why. You got a kid, he's in school. Even if he's messing up or not, he's still there. Right? He don't have to go, does he? Or her. But you think they don't have to go. They can detour. But this kid, even though say he painted the wall. Okay? Painted the school wall, okay? All right, so he's still there, Bo. He's still at the fucking school. He still wants to do something.
Yeah.
So you haven't lost him. But now when you go out and start fucking throwing him out of school, what the hell are they supposed to do? You know, it's like everybody hates Chris. I love the show. It's funny. And I think the reason he did it the way he did it is for a reason. But it's like these kids, their parents are not telling them what to do. They're not showing them. They're just punishing them if they fuck up. So they're supposed to automatically know what they're supposed to do. And they don't always know what to do. So it's like they do what they think is right and then get whooped, get spankings, they get spankings, beat them because they didn't know that, I mean, it's like, what? Chris got in trouble for, what he saw was, he was watching, Risky was selling some stuff, and everything he sells is stolen. And he'll go out there and he'll say, just fell off the truck. And people are like, okay, I want one. Yeah, because it's stolen, right? This guy walked by, he said, I got a VCR. I was like, nah, he said, they just fell off the truck. He said, I'll take two. It's funny shit. So Chris is watching this. So here's what he went out there and did for sale cookies, blah, blah, kept doing it. No, nobody would buy them. So then he starts saying, they just fell off the truck, right?
Yeah.
Because that worked for the other guy, didn't it? So he was watching, so the guy, he saw that letting people know that it was stolen made them more apt to buy it. So that's what he did. He came out here and he tried to do it the other way. But then he started having to say that they were stolen so people would buy them. That is humanity. And he got beat for it, Bo. Got arrested. They took him to jail. Kid now. Took him to jail. He got in trouble. But what was he doing wrong? He was accomplishing the goal. He was selling cookies, I think. It was selling cookies for a trip for their class to go to D.C. So he was selling cookies. Yeah. That was he was doing it for school. He was doing it the way he saw somebody else do it, and it worked because his fucking parents that are beating him did not help him. The dad works all the time. He's got 2 jobs. I don't blame him because Rochelle is a damn bitch. I don't blame him. He's probably happier at work. So he's never home except for to scold them and discipline them. He don't know what the hell happens. He's not there. And Rochelle, she's so damn harebrained, and I mean she's quitting jobs and starting jobs. I mean, she's just kind of a mom that's not paying attention to the kids. The only time they pay attention when they fuck up. So anyway, back to the kid met. So say this kid paints the wall, and some people say, make him clean. I said, no, don't make that young and clean that up. That's what he was thinking then. That's what he was feeling then. Ask him about it. Say, why did you do this particular stroke type? Don't talk about what it says. Talk about how it is written, how it's drawn, because you're not going to get a damn thing making him go out here. It don't matter what he writes. It matters how he writes it. And a lot of times you'll notice difference. Some people paint with, the strokes that go off. Some of them go like in stop. Some of them, different people draw things different ways. So this kid's trying to tell people something the only way he knows how to tell them. And to that, him is a communication, because what's been done ain't working, is it? Yeah. It ain't working. It ain't working. They're not working with this kid. So that's what I think. And when I say only in humanity does it make sense, it's like people have accepted that it's right to people to just kick people out, and But I mean, that's the whole focus. I think the whole human focus is. I mean, I got the other day. I was like, if you are a North Carolina parent with no relatives in Kentucky, what the hell is? Why is our focus? Well, mine wasn't. I just saw it on the YouTube. It came up on YouTube. The Kentucky tornadoes.
Yeah.
That had absolutely nothing to do, unless you live there or you know people that live there or that's your work or something. Nothing to do with us. We're in North Carolina. We're not in Kentucky. To be sure in hell, Kentucky can look after itself. Now we need to stay down here, and we're bitching at these kids, but our focus is halfway across the world, and these youngins are sitting here like, what are we supposed to do? And they try to do something. The parents aren't fucking telling them what to do. They're not showing. I don't even like the word tell. I want to show them. Say, look, this is how I do it, and this is how I would do it, or just, that's it. Let them do it their way, as long as they get done what they're supposed to get done. Because there was no reason for Chris to get in trouble for saying those cookies were stolen. I don't think there's any reason. He was smart. That was smart. So, it's just, and there ain't no telling what, because see, a lot of times, like, say a kid writes shit on the wall or something. There might be something in those letters. I mean, there might be the H is connected to the S in such a way that it says something else. That's what you need to look for, I think. Because a lot of times people put the letters together, and it makes the whole thing. I did it with my border collie sign. It's neat as shit. But I've done it on. I did one painting where I put two words together, and it looks like if you see, like, this word is plain, and if you see it, there's another word that goes that way. And it's plain, sort of. But I made one word look like two. And it's some stuff like that. These kids are doing all this painting out here. I think they're not getting the attention they deserve. Nobody ain't damn listening to them. Nobody's paying attention to them. But we're bitching But we're bitching at them. We're not letting them play games. If they go out, they can't go far. They getting, and I think people ought to stay the hell out of other people's fights. Period. My dogs, I had two sisters. Hell, they used to go damn at it. Fighting like hell, slinging each other around. But see, the thing is, I left them alone. So they were able to solve what it was between them. The thing was between them. Not all these people out here. Had nothing to do with all these people. So the only thing that happens, I think, when we come in and we interrupt a fight, the only thing we're doing is extending and creating resentment. All we're doing is postponing that fight. So now they're just getting madder and madder and madder and madder and madder as they think about it, right? They're like, God damn, I forgot about that. Whereas if they'd let them fight, let them get it over with, then later on they're just, you know what I'm saying? It's, people, see, that's the dog way to do it. People would have jumped. That's the way I did. I let them fight like hell. As long as there was no blood, or, they didn't hurt each other. They were taking out aggression on each other. And something else, I think they were teaching each other how to fight, just in case they needed those skills. Right? So, one of the dogs used to always stand over when they would stop, and the other one would always be like this. But if you think about it, a lot of people like the one standing over's got the advantage. You think about that dog laying on its back, where's its mouth? And where's the other dog's neck?
Yeah.
Right? The other dog's head's way over here. The one on the ground is his mouth's right here at the dog's neck. So sometimes who you think's winning that fight ain't winning that fight. And if you want your dog to live and you see dogs fighting, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Because when your dog gets into a fight and you call his name out, what's going to happen? He's going to get his ass whooped, isn't he? You're going to fuck up his focus. You need to leave his focus looking after his ass. You know? Because I learned that when 2 dogs jumped on Zeke one night, and my neighbor was like, aren't you going to stop them? I was just standing there, ain't a damn thing I can do about it. 2 dogs on my dog. And him getting up trying to run off. He knew what to do. He's smart. He didn't stand a fight. He's trying to get out. But I'm going to tell you something. When my neighbor when they got a hold of the dogs, that son of a bitch turned around and came back. Because we were still back there. Me and the girls, the dogs. And, but if I would have hollered his name, they'd have killed him, no question. Because that would have thrown his whole focus off. I don't know if they'd have killed him, but they would have hurt him real bad. And I think people need to stay the hell out of other people's fights. I do. Blah, 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 blah. But this is really, really helpful for me. Because as I'm talking, and see, earlier I was crying like hell because I couldn't even send Cameron a message. That was before I smoked weed. After, now I'm thinking, I told actually a couple of my stories as I was telling them, actually applied to them. Because I was thinking about my focus story. It's all over this. My focus wasn't right when I was there. Because I'm not a nurturing type parent. I was an efficient parent. I made sure everything got done. They got fed, watered, worked, school was done. But I wasn't the type that were snuggled up with them on top of me every night. You know, sometimes, but I just wasn't nurturing like some women are. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people think about that when they have kids. Here's my thing. I think I'm going to lease out some dogs. I think if you can take a male, a female, and 2 daughters or 2 sons, border collies, if you can raise those 4 dogs to be productive, behaved, take them anywhere you want them with no leashes, then you can have kids. Because those border collies will teach them some stuff. Those border collies will teach them. Sure will. A lot of the stories I tell have a lot to do with stuff that they've done. Yeah. And here's another thing. I have lost friends because they caught me in a before weed mood. Okay? Even dealing with people before weed and after weed. I've lost a lot of friends because of this. And when I get after weed, I'll call and be like, I'm so sorry. And I'm apologizing to these people for something I said or did that hurt them. Or pissed them off. Didn't hurt them, pissed them off. Drug dealers mostly. They got mad at me. But, or just anything. Yes, I don't know. I stomped on somebody's shoe at Lowe's. I don't know, just something. But I'll attempt to apologize. Before weed, fuck them. Shouldn't have got their damn foot up underneath my foot. But it's just that drastic. And I personally have not heard that particular take on it. It might be up there at the wherever, whoever. It's probably about 5 people sitting there that have never smoked weed before that still believe in reefer madness and the Mexicans being the marijuana over killing all their babies. They're probably the ones keeping it illegal. No, I know exactly what fucking pharmaceutical business would. But see, the thing is, those pharmacies can be selling weed instead of all that stupid shit. So I don't understand the problem. The drugstores huh?
They need to be selling it.
I know. I think all the drugstores should be dispensaries for medical marijuana. The recreation, they can grow their own. You know?
Oh, yeah.
But the medicinal, I think, should be sold in drugstores. I just thought of that just now. You helped me think of it. But that makes sense to me. Now listen to this. Here's what's funny. Earlier, before I smoked any weed, I was crying. God, it was awful. And I was like, I gotta find a lighter. So I found the lighters. Now when I got back in here, I just had a little bit. I got back in here, the first one I picked up wouldn't do. Woo. Had I not had any yet, I probably would have thrown it. And my arms, you know. But I didn't. I was like, well, and I had another one right here. Because I just found 3 of them. Because I smoked weed. I had sense enough to know right where to go to get one. They were there. They were right there the other day when I was a red one I was looking for. I tore this place apart and there were 3 lighters in those little vests in there hanging up on the door. They were there the whole time. But my mind was not there. And my mind was, I was pissed off at something else, and then it fucked this up and messed this up. You know, it just went on and on and on and on. It's kind of like going down a hill. It's just hard to stop. That's a good one, ain't it? When ain't no trees.
Yeah,
ain't no damn trees.
Hard to stop.
It is. But that's like watching these little girls going down this mountain. I mean, we're talking, if you ever get a chance to see it, it's most dangerous ways to school, but the Mexico one is 3 little girls. Well, there's one too in Peru. There's these 3 little girls that have to go on this great big river in a it's not even a canoe, it's a dugout. It's like a tree's been cut out. It's got a bunch of leaks. There's these 3 kids now, 5, 6, and 9 little girls. One of them is in charge of getting water out of the thing because it's leaking as they're going. One of them, that's all she does, keep water out of it. They got these old wood oars, freaking driving the shit out of that boat. I mean, it's like, but they did. I mean, 3 little girls, little, 5, 6, and 9, little, and they have to go. Like, takes them a couple hours to get to school. Then when they come back, the boat's full again, so they have to get a bucket and get all the water back out of it and go back down the river. Yeah. I mean, it's just some. But they stay close to the bank. It's a big ass river. But they stay real close to the bank. And you got to figure they're probably messing with, if there's wind or something, there's probably waves and stuff. It's just fascinating to watch these kids. They're just invincible. And I think that's what's messing. It's like the older we get, we start turning into pussies. Now these kids, they are freaking, they're bad. They're tough as hell. there are some kids, they walk in the African desert now. It's hot as shit out there. And they do everything in Celsius. So I've got to sit here and go, hey Google, what is blah, blah, blah in Celsius, Fahrenheit. But, it's in over 100 degrees, and these kids are walking out here. One of them, it takes her like 2 hours walking across the desert now to school. I mean, really? And most of them I think it's either now. I think Nigeria might be one of them. Sudan, I think, is one of them. There's a couple more in Africa, and then there's Peru, and there's Philippines, Mexico, Siberia. That's cold as shit. They have when they have a car in the smog. If somebody has a car, they have to leave it running all the time, all 24/7, because if it cuts off, the oil freezes, bro. It's cold. All the fluids in the car just freezes. But it's like Fahrenheit. It's like minus 70 or 80. People, there's like one of the crewmen that was doing the video, and he had frostbite on his ear. You have to have every bit, like within 15 minutes. It's like they said if your vehicle breaks down, within 2 hours you'll be dead. If nobody gets you help. I mean, that's some cold ass. That's cold. Your body literally freezes. That's cold. But now here's and they live in damn shacks and shit. But the school bus driver, the government pays for him to have a heated building for the truck so that the fluids will stay. And even the metal, some of the metal, the way that even some of the materials that the truck's actually made of, the cold affects them. Yeah. These people, this one lady, she goes down to the river now. Down to the river, it's frozen. So here's what she does. She cuts a chunk of ice, takes it up to the house and melts it. It can't get no cleaner. She goes and gets a big old chunk of ice out of the river because the river's frozen. Yeah. If you imagine the fish, yummy. But now it's so cold. It's got to be, and they have a barn that's full of cows, so that helps, keep that part warm. But what's funny is the animals are fine. Dogs running around everywhere. So that's what I'm saying. Nature is so much further advanced than human. It's so funny. There's these 3 little girls. They have to walk for the school bus, and my phone's on. They have to walk to school. When they get out to the school bus, when they stop, they can't stand there but for about 15 minutes or so. They have to go back. If the bus hadn't come, they have to go back. It's that cold. And they got 6 layers of clothes on. I think it's like, like 6, like 2 or 3 pairs of socks. I mean, boots and shit. And it's still cold. It seems to me, though, like you could get like some kind of a lotion or an oil or something that you could apply to the skin before you get, like Vaseline or something. It seems to me like that would protect. Yeah.
It should.
Wouldn't you think? Well, I'm going to get off of my laptop here. I'll keep you on here. Unless you're tired of listening to me.
Man, I want you to keep me awake. In Alabama, almost to
Well, I'm going to get off of the movie thing here.